What up? What's happening? Ladies and gentlemen.
What you jazzy fake now?
Ladies and gentlemen. We back with another one, y'all. Episode 12. It's the Wrap Up Podcast. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling well, man. How about you, man?
Oh, man, you know, that's the customary intro. I always gotta ask how you doing.
It's cordials, man.
Act like I really care.
You care.
Yeah, I do. It's my man's right here.
It's cordials.
Yeah, man. So, did you vote, brother?
Of course.
Of course. All right, good. I mean, I knew. I just gotta ask for the people so they know you voted.
Yeah,
Us voted over here.
Early vote.
Man, so this is actually the first time I voted in the city. It took forever. Because, you know, before when I was living in the South Burbs, you know, going vote, it was in and out.
Yeah, you in and out.
I forgot you had to re-register and all. Oh, bruh.
Oh, man.
That was too much. But it was worth it. It was worth it. Round up out of there. So, that's good news. But we ain't going to talk about voting today. Want to get into something else. Swizz Beatz. Swizz Beatz dropped a dope project, man. Dope project. So I want to get into that a little bit, and then we'll kind of parlay that into some of our favorite producers. Let's see where he stacks up amongst the greatest producers of all time. But first, let's get into the actual project. This is his first project, right? I don't think Swizz had any individual projects prior to this, right?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yeah. Remember the joint? I can't think of the name of it, but it was him with the little turntables in front with his hand sticking out with the double R little shirt on or something like that.
I don't know. Hey, that's what we got the internet for. I'm finna look
it was I forgot the name of it. Cassidy was on it and
the compilation joint. That's when I keep wanting to say what is it? First Family or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. So this ain't his first one. You're right. But Poison is a dope compilation of records.
Solid project.
It's pretty dope.
Solid project.
One thing that I think Swizz kind of gets into is his sound gets a bit repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a good job of showing his versatility in his sound throughout this entire project. I thought it was pretty good, man. I think that's the one big knock on Swizz Beatz is that a lot of his production kind of sounds the same. I've always been a huge fan of Swizz.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't the typical Casio beats.
Right.
All the time.
Right. So what's your standout joint on here?
Oh man. I'm gonna go straight to the Nas joint.
Okay.
I believe it's Cold Blooded with Push.
Yeah.
Of course, the Locks.
Yeah.
Those may be my 3 bright joints.
Okay. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably say Cold Blooded is my favorite one. That's the joint with Push. Echo with Nas was definitely dope.
Yeah.
I like the Jim Jones joint. It grew on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Jim Jones.
Jim was talking.
Jimmy got off.
Jim was talking.
And you know, I was listening to one of their new Dipset singles that they got too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Jimmy coming with it. Jimmy here.
So Jimmy has become one of those cats that's gotten better with age.
Yeah, for sure. Jim Capo is here.
Yeah,
he coming with it, man. So those I would probably say those are my 2 favorite joints. The Swizz Montana joint is pretty dope too.
Yeah.
But all in all, the production altogether, I thought was pretty nice.
The production, when the album first came out, I hit you up with it because I knew it was coming out, but I didn't know it came out when it did.
Right.
So I hit you up at work. It was like, yo, the Swizz came out. I'm like, yo, it's dope. Top 5 of the year. You was like, yo, hold on, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, buddy.
I don't know about that.
So the project is still dope, but it kind of loses its luster for me because you know me, Wikipedia Stephen.
Yeah.
He only produced 4.5 tracks. So the ones that's dope, he didn't produce them.
Wow.
He produced Cold Blooded.
Okay.
Which was the Pusha T joint.
That's my favorite joint. All right, so
DJ Scratch produced the Nas joint. A-Rab produced maybe 3 or 4. The only ones Swizz did was the one with Lil Wayne, POM.
Yeah,
that sound like Swizz.
It do sound like Swizz.
The intro.
So, man, wait a minute. That kind of take away from me saying that the versatility. It ain't him.
So it's not. So it's not his album. It's not. I'm thinking. I'm like, because when I'm listening to it, I'm like, yo, Swizz in a new bag.
Yeah.
A brand new bag. No, Swizz.
The jig is up.
Swizz came with luggage.
Oh, that's a
So
he pulled the wool over.
So let me do it. Let me do it. Respect. So Poison, the intro, was produced by him.
All right.
Pistol on My Side with Wayne was him and A-Rap music. So that give him a half.
All right.
But it's a Swizz sound.
It is.
Come Again, number 3 is Swizz.
Right.
Number 4 with Jada, Styles, and Kendrick. That's A-Rap music by himself. Preach with Jim Jones is Genius. Swizz not on that. Echo with Nas is DJ Scratch. Cold Blooded is Swizz. 25 Soldiers with Young Thug is A-Rap music. Stunt with 2 Chainz is Bink. And Swizz Montana is Swizz. So the project is still dope.
That totally changed
But it
the
changes.
whole way that I wanted to approach this.
It changed. And
So
I purposely didn't tell you this.
Because I didn't go check. I just figured this was him. I'm like, he gave us 10, joints. I was like, this all Swizz. I'm like, yo, the versatility is here. People can't just keep saying all Swizz sound the same. This kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. Not that it doesn't take anything away from the fact that I still think Swizz is dope.
Yeah.
But this, for me, it kind of did him a bit of justice to say, okay, Swizz ain't always got to sound the same. He brought in some different sounds. Mm-hmm. He took you to a couple of different places with these, and then all of a sudden to find out that he ain't produced all 10 of these tracks. It kind of like, that burned it down a little bit for me.
So some more background I found into the album.
Oh, even to make it worse.
No, it's actually pretty good. And it kind of made sense once I heard the beats that weren't done by Swizz. He credits J. Cole with being an executive producer on the album. So he had 70 tracks done, and he only selected 10 for the album. But those he took off the album were songs that I believe the masses would want to hear. Of course, one of the songs he took off was the one that he did in the battle with Just.
I was waiting on that. The joint with
Nas?
Nas?
Took it off, yeah.
With
Nas,
Escobar
Jay-Z,
season?
yeah. He took that one off. He took off another track with Kanye and Bono.
Really?
He took that one off.
Why?
He took off a track with Bruno Mars. No, that's the one with Bruno Mars, Jay-Z, DMX, and Jadakiss. The one he played in the battle was another one he took off. So he took off those 2 tracks that were originally supposed to be on the album.
I need to hear them. I was waiting on them.
Because the one he did with the Swizz battle was crazy.
Ugly.
Just because DMX came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That one was ugly. And I will say this. I credit a lot of my affinity for Swizz Beatz because I'm a huge DMX fan.
Yeah.
So DMX and the Rough Riders, the Locks, Drag On and Eve, and him doing all of their stuff, it really stemmed from me just originally being an X fan. And I know that, Swizz did a lot of stuff for X, and it just compiled from that. And I was like, yo, Swizz is cold. And I still think he dope. So this doesn't tarnish anything for me.
Yeah.
I still think Swizz is dope. But one of the things that I really liked about this album was the versatility of the sound.
Very versatile.
And I thought it was all Swizz. But hey, shout out to the other guys, especially he works a lot with A-Rap. So I mean that makes sense. But man, I thought this was all him.
So when I heard the Nas joint Echo, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to hear that, because they coming out with a joint.
Yeah,
can't wait to hear it. But then when I'm like, he didn't even produce this, so
yeah, so that one.
It kind of left me a little downtrodden, man.
I feel the same, but here's the only thing that I could think of. If my man got 70 tracks, he gotta come with like a Poison Part 2, or he's coming out with something next, or he's not going to just let these 60 songs collect dust. I don't think,
especially with that type of heat.
Yeah, it's either that or Nas might have been like, yo, let me put this on my Escobar season. Because Nas is supposed to be still coming out with his album.
That's true.
The joint that he did with Kanye was just doing that with Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, so that that I mean, don't get me wrong, that album was still nice. I thought it was fresh, but he's still supposed to be releasing Escobar season.
Yeah.
So maybe that might be a reason why he pulled some of them joints back.
It may be, but I don't foresee him coming out with a new album. So like the first one was One Man Band with One Man Band was 11 years ago.
It was.
You know what I mean? So
that's true.
So for me, the album, like you stated prior, it's still a good project. Even the track with Push, Cold Blooded, he produced that himself based upon liner notes, and that sounded different from Swizz.
It did. It didn't have a lot of like crazy hard bass to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a
trumpets and flutes. And,
right. That's a Swizz staple.
Yeah.
And this one was a little bit more mellow. It was a little bit more. It wasn't as busy. You know, Swizz Beatz usually got a lot of busyness in his beats. There's a lot going on. This one was a little bit more candid.
Yeah.
As to where the words is going to fill up a lot of the space.
Right now, if you had to put, I know we're talking about Swizz, but just thinking about Push. If you had to put Push up against anybody right now, who's had a better year album wise, from features to everything, than Push probably?
The only person that I think has had a better year musically, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey still has.
So his album just resonates that much based upon all the work that Push has been on.
Push has been on a lot more stuff. He had his own album. He was on Kanye's album. He was on he's on Poison. He was on a couple of other things too. He was on Vic Mensa's album.
Vic Mensa, yeah.
With the OMG, the Oh My Goodness joint. Push has definitely done a lot more that I've heard. But the album of the year, if we talking about just this year, I know when you talk about in terms of the Grammys, you still got to go back to like November.
No, not even album of the year. Just artists in general.
Just we talking about just pure releasing music, artistry.
Whatever you've been featured on, you've bodied it all. Will you say Push has been that guy for 2018?
I can't think of anybody right now who's done more in terms of their album and features, and
excluding Drake, because he's on everybody's stuff.
Not that the album was bad, but Scorpion didn't wow me. Scorpion didn't wow me. It was good. I thought it was good. And
I know we're talking about Swizz. We're going to get back to Swizz. But listening to this album, kind of a segue back to Swizz, from Swizz, away to Swizz, back to Swizz.
All that. Bringing it back
I
around.
think I texted you on Friday and said Styles album. I had it on repeat, and I listened to it 4 times without knowing.
It's dope.
Styles dropped 3 joints, including the Dave East album that I slept on.
I know
that I slept on.
Yo, I just got in the joint with him and Dave. Beloved.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
And you know me, I've been big on Dave.
You're a Dave East guy.
Yeah. I've been big on Dave East for a while now, and Dave East came with it. I thought he did. You know, he came with it. It was strong.
You have to with Styles.
And man, Styles came tough. Like tough.
I don't think it's a rapper right now, if you were to put their body of work for 2018 and give a hierarchy, I think I'm putting Styles at least 1 or 2.
I'm not mad at that. Styles has been on a lot of stuff too.
At least 1 or 2. He may go back and forth with Push.
I gotta.
Because to have 3 solid albums.
Through my album, Rolodex here of the things that then came out.
3 solid albums he's dropped.
Yeah.
So the last project that that came out last week was called Dime Trap.
Right.
Was dope. The Beloved with Dave East, and he had one before that. I can't recall.
No,
what
Dime Trap was T.I.
No, T.I. was Dime.
Huh?
His is called Dime. Styles is Dime Trap.
No, T.I. is Dime Trap.
T.I.'s is Dime. Go to your Googles.
I'm right here. Dime Trap.
So who's so Dime Bag?
Dime
Bag is
Dime Bag is Styles.
It's Styles.
Yeah,
It was a lot of dimes going on.
It was. And they was all tens.
And Dime Trap.
Dime Trap is dope.
It was dope too.
It was. And
that put T.I. in my top 10
for the year
of all time.
Dime Trap puts him in your top 10.
In the top 10.
We going way. I don't know how we gonna make it back to the producers.
Swizz.
I don't know how we gonna make it back.
Hey, we got 45 minutes.
We do. Of all time, the album is dope. The album is dope. I will say this. This has been one of his better albums, for sure.
Just look at T.I.'s last couple of albums. I'm trying to pull them up now. So you had T.I. You had Dime Trap. You have Trouble Man came out within that time frame. The album he had, the Grand Hustle album. He had the another compilation album. I can't think of the name of that joint. Another compilation album that came out. His last maybe 5 efforts or so has been consistent bodies of work. And when you're a rapper in that age range and you getting better, all these old rappers that's supposed to be falling off, i.e. Styles and Nas and Push, each album they're putting out is better than the one they put out before.
I agree.
Better than the one they put out before. So Dime Trap, Paperwork was dope. Trouble Man and No Mercy from 2010 on to now.
And
those were solid efforts.
The Us or Else, the letter to the system.
Us or Else was dope. Yep.
Paperwork was okay. Paperwork was okay. Trouble Man was
dope.
Trouble Man was okay. I'm judging it against Dime Trap is cold.
Dime Trap cold.
Dime Trap is dope. It's definitely a top 5 body of work for him. Dime Trap, I would put Dime Trap in his top 5.
Mm-hmm.
T.I. got some classics.
He got some classics.
I don't got him in my top 10, but he's up there.
Yeah.
Longevity, the amount of classic albums that he has, and just his ability to make a song, his lyricism, his features. He can tell a story. And
his content, the last few albums, even though he's still trap talking, his content has improved immensely.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Because he can still take it to that street ruggedness, but then he's so much more aware of the things that are going on around him. And I like Conscious T.I.
Yeah.
Conscious T.I. is dope. And he ain't just trying to, hit you with the big words in the interview and all of that, which I like that T.I.
Yeah.
I like the fact that T.I. says, I could reach a different level of my people and make sure that I still get my point across.
Yeah.
So I could reach my scholar. I could reach my street guy. I could reach the women. I could reach the children. So I like the way that T.I. can reinvent himself, or the way that he can package himself to say, hey, I'm still the same dude. I'm still consistent in what I'm giving you, but I can give it to you in a way that you know how to digest it.
Yeah, that's growth.
Yeah.
Now,
everybody can't do that.
Talking about growth, even though it's only 2 albums, you can see the growth bringing it back to Swizz with Swizz also. Even though he still has that same signature sound, it's not as... Whenever I think of Swizz, I go straight to Rough Riders Anthem.
Yeah.
And it went to a point with me when he was like hot on everything. Everything was the same chord, same key, and it was all the same. Even though he still has his staple, he's adding different nuances, which you will expect when you grow music.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
But as a producer, everybody has that staple. So that when they come on, it's like, this sound like a Timberland track. Or
Sound
this
like
sounds like a
Neptune's,
Swizz.
yeah.
You know, it's like, oh man,
Dre,
I know this is
Dre,
premiere.
yeah.
I know this is premiere. I can hear it. You know, so as a producer, you want to have that staple, not a tag. Everybody know your tag when you say mustard on the beat, or you know.
Well, what's Swizz say? This is.
Yeah, this is. You know, so everybody has a tag. That's cool, but when you talking about just a signature sound,
Yeah.
So when it come on, and you get without hearing the tag, you say, I know who this is.
And I don't think producers now have that. Like I think
a lot of them don't.
I think the last one that had that signature sound was probably not Zaytoven. What's the Bangladesh? Bangladesh. Okay. Even though he had the tag Bangladesh, his beat all kind of that when he that claim to fame when he was with MJG and Nate Ball.
Yeah,
that album. That he's probably the last one. Metro Boomin don't really have a. He kind of has a sound, but he can adapt to the artist.
He's very versatile. Yeah. And I say the same thing for Mustard which is too. Good. Yeah. Which is good. It's a good thing to be versatile. You could reach it, especially with Mustard being able to. He's produced for all kind of
R&B and everything,
rock, pop, all that. He's definitely versatile with what he does. But you're right, a signature sound. It's been. I say it's been a while before I can say, okay, this is a guy who, when I hear a song, I don't have to hear a tag and I know who it is.
So, since we found out what we found out about Swizz, meaning that he didn't produce name-wise on the album, I'm pretty sure he was in the room, of course. But with the wave of producing now, for example, you take Kanye and you have him, Travis Scott, and, you know, whoever else, 3 cats on one track, and somebody may have just added a hi-hat, somebody else may just
make it a production.
Yeah, so right. So with the wave of having co-producers, do we fault or do we kind of take some of the steam off of this album?
No, or because it wasn't packaged in a way that is like, yeah, this is produced by me and I executive produced it. This is all me. This is me, and I'm giving it to you. So it wasn't brought to us like that. So the fact that we got other people in these credits, I don't feel bad about that. It's the same way with like people harping on Drake for having ghostwriters. That doesn't bother me that much because I don't hold Drake in high esteem as an MC.
But that bothers me. Like if you and I are doing a rap album, it's my joint. But if you give me a hook, that's fine. You can't give me bars. You can't give me bars. You may be like,
can't give me 8 out of my 16.
Yeah, be like, yo, add this line to it. That's fine. Because somebody may have a hot line. You can't give me a hot 16 and be like, add this on top of that.
So the reason it doesn't bother me is because have you ever considered Drake an MC?
Well, he was introduced to us as an MC, and his pop stardom just morphed into what it is now. So when he came with the mixtape with the Trey Songz, I suppose, and all that, he was brought to us as a new school MC.
Okay, I give you that. But and so I guess it's been so far removed. I just see him as, and there's no knock on Drake. I just see he's a rapper.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say just a rapper. He's a good rapper. He can make a song. He can make it dope. But I don't see him as, a MC, somebody who's still, When I think of MC, I think of somebody they in there grinding in the lab, they writing it all out, and they. This is them, and you know that this is them.
All right, so back to it again. Producers aren't doing that. No, anyway, Dre. When was the last time Dre produced a whole album by himself without having Mike Elizondo and all the other cats?
But he's capable. We know he's capable.
But you still hear Dre's sound.
Yeah,
RZA is probably the only one that still produces on any Wu-Tang project. Well, we'll just do a full length group album. At least 90% of other than the last one, because the last one he did was not a compilation, but it was through the mind of mathematics.
Yeah.
So he gave mathematics the reign. He didn't produce.
Oh, so you ain't even
that.
talking about. I'm thinking you talking about the saga continues.
No.
Okay,
I'm not talking about that because
that.
because that's mathematics.
Yeah.
That's mathematics. I'm talking about the other joints, the Forever, 36 Chambers. Yeah. You know, he even if you were to go to, no, I can't say that because Alchemist did a lot of Mobb Deep stuff, but with Havoc. You know that sound. Yeah. And even the producers that you bring in kind of harp on your sound. That's why with Kanye, it didn't really bother me because he was challenging things musically.
Yeah.
With Pharrell, when he works with different producers, when Timbaland worked with different producers, they still have that staple.
Yeah.
And Poison, we had Swizz Beatz, but a lot of the songs didn't have that Swizz Beatz staple, if you will.
I agree with that.
So then when you hear a Swizz Beatz album or you hear a DJ Shadow, I'm showing my age, a DJ Shadow album, or if you hear a High Tech album, you expect to hear that sound.
Yeah.
The album is still dope, but it doesn't make a Swizz. If he's not rapping on 10 of those songs or doing something, it doesn't reflect to me as it's his album, but it don't play to me.
It don't play like
as a Swizz album.
And I'm gonna be honest, that's what I liked about this. Is and not that I mean again.
Swizz can be annoying. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Swizz Beatz can be annoying to me.
For real, repetitive and annoying is two different things. It can definitely get to that point. I wouldn't classify it as annoying. It definitely gets repetitive, and as to where it's just like, it's another one that sounds just like the last one.
Yeah.
So the fact that this had so many different ranges, it was refreshing.
But what helps him also is we haven't heard a lot from Swizz. He's not diluted on the radio or on people's projects.
I'm mad that we still didn't get the battle between him and Tim.
I
was ready for that, and then it kind of died down. Yeah. And then the steam is gone, but that would have been dope. I wanted to see that.
So where is Swizz in the pantheon of greats?
Top 10 for sure. Just outside of my top 5.
He's outside. How much outside the top 5? 7, 8?
Possibly.
Who?
This is very different. This is harder than rappers for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Producers is harder than rappers. Rappers, I don't know. I just feel like it's easier to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Two guys that absolutely have to be in my top 5. Kanye and Just Blaze. Have to be. Kanye and Just Blaze absolutely have to be there for me.
And I'm not gonna fault that because you can have arguments for both.
Hey, it's their ability. First of all, I'm a sucker for samples.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say this: a lot of guys in my hierarchy of best producers, they sample a lot. But Just Blaze, I teeter in between those two, between who's number one. They neck and neck for me. Pharrell is in my top 5. Tim is in my top 5.
Okay.
The 5th is really hard. First name that comes to mind is Ninth Wonder. But RZA is just so dope, and he doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah,
RZA don't get enough credit for me. So I mean, I could go back and forth all day because, like I said, this is a lot harder. The top 5 producers is a lot harder. But definitely give me Just Blaze, give me Kanye, give me Ninth Wonder, give me Pharrell, give me Tim. RZA gotta be in there. I can't narrow it down to the top 5. I cannot.
If I had to choose,
but Swizz has got to be somewhere in the 10. He's in the realm.
I would say in no order, but top 5 range. Starting off high, RZA. RZA is probably like my number 1.
Got you.
RZA,
can't get mad at that.
Primo,
yeah,
is in there, of course. Kanye is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I used to toil with putting Timbaland in there, so I'm not sure if Timbaland is in mine.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Though. I'm not mad at that.
I used to toil with the Neptunes being in my top 5. I'm not so completely on them in my top 5.
Wow.
So 3 that I know that are solid.
So you said Neptunes.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. I specifically said Pharrell. It's a difference.
Well, that's true.
It's a difference.
That's true. Because if you say the Neptunes, that's classifying rock. But if we keep it still strictly rap, the Neptunes did a lot of rap stuff.
They did. Oh, they done a ton of rap stuff.
And I got a couple of dark horses that are like my person, but it's my 5, so so it matters. So
yeah, because I got some dark horses too.
We got RZA, Kanye, and who did I say? RZA, Kanye, and Primo. They're probably top 3 interchangeable.
Okay.
Then we go into our 9ths, our Ayatollahs.
Okay.
You know, we go into oh my goodness, what's my man's name? Quest. I got Questlove.
I ain't
in
mad
there.
At that. I'm not mad at that at all.
So mine isn't the traditional. You know, some people try to go out their way to make it unorthodox in terms of, I'm gonna put this producer because I know ain't a lot of people putting on this. If I wouldn't be mad if somebody had Pimp C in their producers list.
He got dope stuff.
Because he got dope stuff.
He definitely do.
I don't know if it's top 10.
Nah.
But you know he's in there. But 10. My 3 those are my solid 3. Swizz would probably fall, without really thinking right now, maybe within that 7 range.
I'm not mad at that.
That 7 range.
It's so difficult, man.
Because his catalog merits him to be higher.
It does. When you think about who he's produced for, and I'm talking about the smash records that he's produced
from 98 to maybe 2003,
had it on.
You couldn't turn the radio on without hearing Swizz.
You couldn't. I'll say.
And of course, Dre, but we know Dre's in there. He's just in there.
Dre is definitely in there.
Yeah.
Dre's in my top 10. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't big on West Coast music for a while. You know, it took me a long time to get into Cube. I had to get older before I found out, oh, Cube is actually pretty dope.
Cube is dope.
And then I go back and listen to NWA and then listen to his solo joints. The beef with Common. You know, I had to go up and then go back. I didn't get in. I wasn't big into the Outlaws, and I wasn't big into Pac. I'm still not big into Pac.
I like Pac, but I'm not the Pac enthusiast like everyone else. But I don't like to put that Pac. You know, it's either Pac or Big. I don't like having to choose because I'm gonna choose Big because that's just what I like. I like my rap to be kind of cinematic. I like to, when I'm driving or whatever, and you rap, I can see the movie.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
That's what it's all about. If you could paint the picture for me, it just makes it better.
Yeah.
So I think that gets lost a little bit with Dre. I still think he's dope. I can respect the craft. I know what he's done is dope. He is a legend, certified. I don't know if Dre makes my top 10.
Yeah, that's.
I know. Pac don't make my top 10 when it comes to rap.
I can give you that.
So it's not a bad thing. It's no knock on him. I know he's dope. He's a legend in the game. But I guess it's the way that I digested music, what I liked, what I became accustomed to. Dre probably falls a little bit outside.
And to be honest, if you were to go song for song, me personally, Dre against Swizzy may have him on a lot of them joints.
again, based upon what I like
Yeah.
and the artists that I like, I ain't gonna say it's no contest. I'm not gonna. That's disrespectful. But give it. I definitely got Swizz over Drake. I got Swizz over Drake.
Yeah.
But then if you, again, I'm a huge sucker for the samples.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can twist a sample and pull it out, man, you got me. That's why I love Kanye. That's why I love Swizz Beatz. Just Blaze. I love Swizz Beatz too. But
if you talk about sampling, to me the dopest sampler, and you may differ, is Q-Tip.
Q-Tip is dope with the sample. I do differ. I think the best person for samples is
because
I can't.
If you say Just, if you,
I want to say Just, but then I want to say Kanye.
But there's no variation. Just is dope. I love Just, but to me, sometimes Just doesn't have any variation on his sound.
No, he could pull it out. No, he could pull it out, yo.
No variation in his sound, man. Like when you hear Just, it's like okay, it's like when you hear the Heat Makers, and you hear
they sample lazy though. Nah.
Okay,
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. The Heat Makers is nice, and they did their thing. You know, they was popping in the early 2000s with Dipset and all of that. But Heat Makers is them lazy samplers. They lazy with the sample. Not Just Blaze. No. Just Blaze gonna twist that joint. Just Blaze is gonna pull a piece or a portion out of a sample, and you're gonna be like, where did he get this from? Now, don't get me wrong. He's got some very noticeable, very easy samples. Yeah. Some things where it's just pulled down. I was like, yeah, that wasn't too complex. Okay, Just. Because that style of sampling was popping at the time.
You're right.
So you can pull something easy like that. When the Heat Makers did it, they got into that. They caught fire with what they did, and it worked for them. But then, as soon as that, that oh boy, I really mean it type sample.
Classics.
If they was classics, don't get me wrong, they did they thing. But when that kind of fell off, that style of sample fell off, the Heat Makers kind of went away.
That's true.
Not saying that they not dope, because they just produced some stuff off of Cameron last album. The program that was cold. So no disrespect to the Heat Makers, I still think they dope, but don't put them in the same ring as Just Blaze. So Just Blaze could twist a sample. Bro.
So you got Just Blaze, Kanye, 1 or 2, 2-1.
How you want to put it? Yeah.
We'll me, I got RZA, Primo, however you want to put it. Pete Rock is somewhere in that top 5 for me too. So back to Swizz, where he has classic joints.
Yeah,
he has classic joints outside of the genre.
For sure.
So, is it more that he caught a wave and he hasn't really done anything in hip hop now that can stand up to the test of time with these other producers? Like Kanye is always producing something, even though he doesn't release. He does release a lot of work, even though we don't really think of it that way. He releases a lot of work. Neptune's Pharrell. Let's just keep it on Pharrell. He releases a lot of stuff.
He does.
Timbaland, not as much, but he has a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So where does Swizz fit within all that? We got to find him a spot.
So I think one thing with Swizz is like, as soon as you ready to, I ain't gonna say give up, but as soon as you ready to forget about Swizz or thinking that he fade into the background, he'll hit you with some shit like he did with the Swizz Beat battle.
Yeah.
Like he got something nasty in the tuck.
Yeah.
So, and he did that with this. The joints, I'll say this, the 4 joints that he did have on here was cold.
You know what I think hurt Swizz a lot? His style of music. To me, only plays in that, like that DJ battle in that club setting. The only way to really appreciate a Swizz, you can appreciate it in your car, you can appreciate it at your crib, but you gotta have an atmosphere to his Swizz. You gotta be at a party and you trying to get. And
he creates a gritty vibe.
The move. He create the move.
Yeah, he give you some street.
So Swizz is more of, if back in the day they had arena rockers that played well in arenas. Swizz would be a dope arena producer to me if there was like a concert.
For sure.
But if I wanted to just chill out and just flow Apple Music one day, I'm going with Just all day. I'm going with Kanye all day because that music isn't that same note. It isn't up here. Swizz is like, I need Ritalin
up here, and he stay up
and he
there.
stays there.
Yeah,
you know what
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
So the vibe.
you put on the Swizz playlist when it's time to go running.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it's time to go running or you working out, that's when Swizz is. God damn it, and you in there with it, you know? Yeah. I'm with you on that. So he can get lost in that vibe because he gives it to you one way, and that one way he does it, he's good at it.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him a niche producer because he's not. He's too good for that. Niche producers can't be legendary, and he's a legend.
He's a legend. I agree.
So I don't want to paint him in a box, but that box that he has is deep and is dope.
It's a deep box. You're right.
But he can definitely venture outside of that box and be dope. But I see where you're coming with that. With the style of producer that Swizz is, he's it's hard for me to pull him out of my 10 just because I felt like it's. And another thing is, the people you grow up with is always you're gonna hold them a little bit closer to your heart.
And that's true because I have an affinity for East Coast rap. So
yeah.
I may have Alchemist sprinkled in there, or I may have, the Beat Miners somewhere, the Beat Junkies. I may have something like that because that's what I grew up listening
Large
to.
Professor,
He
got it. He
has to be.
He's somewhere in there because he got so much dope stuff.
Yeah.
Large P got a nice catalog. Man, it's okay. Like I said, this is way tougher than rappers.
Yeah, so
producers is way tougher than rappers.
It's very subjective. But if we let's just, for these last couple of minutes, just give a criteria in terms of your music, your output, your style, and longevity. We'll just keep it to those 4.
Okay.
Give me 5 right now. Excluding your bias.
Excluding my bias. Okay.
In any order. You don't even have to try to put them in order. Just give me 5 based upon those 4.
That's tough. Okay, so I'm not going. We going take Kanye and Just Blaze, and we're gonna set them to the side for a second.
Okay.
RZA.
Okay.
Because of his longevity, and he's so multifaceted. He can do everything. I mean, we talking about a dude who did scores for movies.
Yeah.
RZA don't get enough credit. So RZA for sure.
He ushered in a new sound with that mid '90s. A lot of people was trying to find that dumb slum drum, man. The way he kept it gritty. Most of the music was out of key, but it fit the group.
He another dope sampler. Dude, just don't get enough credit. Ninth Wonder.
That's interesting.
For his longevity, and his another dude who samples well. Ability to hit different genres, and he can take you different places. He can get you up tempo in a club. He can slow it down. The different ranges of rappers who he's worked with. He's worked with, the highest of the highs, and then underground guys who he's like, okay, well, who is that? I ain't never heard.
Gave his sister a Grammy.
Straight up. So working with Rhapsody, and then working with Lil Brother, and then working with Jay-Z.
He's probably my tops for samples. I'll put him over Just. That's like 1-2 for me. I'm
not mad at that because I Ninth Wonder is up there for me, very high. Ninth Wonder is probably 5, 6.
So you said RZA and Ninth. One more.
Pharrell. I gotta go Pharrell. He can take you anywhere in any range of music, and he makes it sound great. He paints the picture he can adapt around an artist.
Mm-hmm.
His longevity. I mean, we talking about from grinding with the clips.
I'm serious with T.I.
To happy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying he can give you any range of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
He is the Swiss Army knife.
So he's the
producers.
Swiss Army knife of producers. I'm glad you said that. But what about to hip hop strictly?
Just
you put him in your top 5 for strictly hip hop.
Yup.
Okay. So excluding Kanye, because I don't have just 5 in mind. He's teetering. He comes in and out.
Okay.
But Kanye's in mine. So excluding Kanye.
Okay.
Excluding RZA, because we already know he's in there. Primo. Pete Rock. And I'll just have the last one, but I forgot. Primo, Pete Rock, and it wasn't Dre. Oh my goodness, I lost
High Tech?
it. No, it wasn't High Tech. But I don't want to waste time on. I forgot it. But Primo, Pete Rock, that's gonna bother me. It wasn't Q-Tip. Oh my goodness.
Ayatollah.
It wasn't Ayatollah. I can't think of it. Was it No ID?
Wow, No ID is another.
I think it was No ID.
No ID is another.
No ID. No ID.
No ID is another dope.
RZA, Pete Rock, Premier, and Kanye would probably be my top 5.
Wow, No ID is another good one. No ID got to be dancing somewhere around that 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would.
So that's starting 5. Swizz is definitely can be.
Swizz got to be somewhere in there.
Swizz can be my 6th man or number 7. He can be my.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Depending on the game.
Yeah, Swizz is he is dope, man. Swizz is ridiculously nice with it. I think another thing that really one thing that really helped me like Swizz even more is watching him make music. Watching Swizz listen to music and then make music, you can see the love that he has when he puts into it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not slapping stuff together.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things that it's peanut butter jelly producing. You slap it here, put it together, and you got what you got. That's not him. He cooking
a banana now.
He in there cooking. Yeah, there you go. he in there cooking, and you just his facial expressions and the way that he tweaks stuff and the way that he make things bounce. And it's like
bologna in it.
Swizz be in there cooking, and then all of a sudden you just be like, "Yo, this man is a genius."
Mm-hmm.
I love watching producers create. If I get a chance to watch you create and see how it starts from scratch and then it how it manifests into a song, that just makes me love it even
That's
more.
why I'm in love with them clips, that they got of Jay-Z when he was doing, I think it was the Black album with Tim and Pharrell and Kanye, and they introducing the joints to him.
Yeah,
I can watch those like all day
long. And then the
Russian Roulette, I can watch those all day.
I love that. And I remember man, watching Swizz Beatz. I mean, not Swizz Beatz. Just Blaze with the what's the Netflix special?
Oh, the Rapture joint.
Yeah, the Rapture joint. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy. I watched the documentary on not Pete Rock, Premier. I watched a documentary on Premier and watching him make beats. This dude, man, you can see the love of music and the way that they pull things and put things together, and that's when you know you got somebody legendary cooking something up for you.
And that's dope. You mentioned the Netflix joint. I just finished 2 days ago, I think it was. They have the Hip Hop Evolution joints on there. So so I just finished the 2nd season. Okay. And the last episode of that season was talking about the golden era of hip hop. So of course they go through Illmatic, they go through Biggie, in that golden era. So within that golden era, they were talking about how the Serrano became the go-to because they had
the go-to machine.
Because I mean, not the Serrano, the SPC 1200, because they had the sampler. Okay. Because they had the laws was passed after Luke and all of that jazz, where the samples in the machine could only hold 10 seconds, so they have to find a way to loop it. And each producer, from Pete Rock to Preem to I think it was just Pete Rock, Preem, Kid Capri, they all credit Large Professor with teaching them how to use that machine. Q-Tip said that he would do the tape method, where he would just keep looping the tape, stop, record, because that's what he was familiar with. Large Professor, when they was doing Illmatic, showed him that you can use it like this, and he said that changed his life.
The game for him.
So back in the days, producers were working to make a dope sound, and they're doing it now to a certain extent, especially with Kanye. One thing I can say about Kanye and his production, his maturity of his production, since I would probably say, was it Yeezus? The Black Skinhead album?
Yeah.
Yeezus. A lot of people with his esteem in terms of the game wouldn't bring outside producers, especially young cats that's popping.
Yeah.
To get that sound. And once again, we talked about a couple of shows, he may be manipulative for that sound or whatever.
Yeah.
But his synergy, if you talk about musicality with other producers, it's A1. It's A1.
When I tell you how intricate and how deep Kanye gets into the way that he actually constructs the sound, is that if you really listen, the best way to digest the production of Kanye West is to listen to him with headphones. And let me tell you why. It's because Kanye plays different sounds in each ear. Everything ain't stereo.
Absolutely.
Everything ain't stereo with Kanye. So he'll have certain sounds play. And you know what? That really made me appreciate the Late Registration album even more.
Scoopity Scoop is like that.
It is.
It plays in different ears.
And I didn't really digest that a lot because of what was being said on there.
No beat, though.
The beat was cold. That was never the issue. But man, the fact that what's that song? Late, the last song on Late Registration.
It ain't Homecoming.
No. It's called Late.
Yeah.
With the way that he bend the sample, where it makes it sound like she's saying, "I'll be late for that," but it's really "I'll erase away."
Yeah.
The fact that the way that he bends the sample, that dude is he's a genius, ladies and gentlemen. He's a genius. So for you to be that intricate in the way that you play sounds in one ear and not the other, or vice versa, in the way that you're bouncing sounds and meshing sounds around the voice of the sample or around the voice of the person, that's when you know that they just not slapping beats together. That's a whole different legendary status.
The stuff he came out with this summer was great production to me.
It was.
A lot of people, I think it was just cool to bash Kanye, and it was different than Kanye's sound. But if you just listen to those 3 or 4 albums, those 4 albums, they were all intricate in their own ways. Push album, intricate. That Kids See Ghosts, that's probably some of Kanye's best production to me.
It is. That's top notch production right there. Kids See Ghosts, and again, it gives you, when the production alone can take you somewhere. It's that he definitely took you places on that, and the production was just it was vibrant. It really helped paint the picture with what they were trying to say, what they were trying to depict. He took you somewhere. So Kanye is a different level when it comes to production, and it's not a lot of people who are on that level. It's not a lot of people who put that much thought and that much effort into making the beats. A majority of the guys who we talked about today do that.
So once again, it's safe to say that we can put Swizz. He's in that top 8, top 10.
Yeah, Swizz is a legendary producer, hands down.
So with the project Poison, we don't have a rating system yet.
We don't.
So what if we do? If it's dope, we gonna unwrap it.
Alright.
If it's whack, we gonna wrap it up and send that joint somewhere.
We unwrapping this joint.
So we unwrap it.
We unwrap it.
We unwrap it.
I like that.
I agree.
I like that.
I agree.
It's been blessed. It's been christened. We unwrapping that joint. I like that. I like that.
We unwrapping that. So it's a dope album.
It is a dope album. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Poison came out last week.
Last week, yeah.
Came out last week. Go and check it out, man. This
came out Friday, I believe.
Yeah. Definitely check that out. It's a dope sound. It's a bunch of dope music out right now.
That's low key. That's under the radar. Now we're not talking about your takeoffs. I haven't heard that. But if you want some good hip hop music, there's some good stuff. You just got to scroll through and find it. Belly has a dope album.
Yeah.
The Styles joints we talked about was
dope. The Dave Easton
Styles is dope.
It's a bunch of dope music out, man. So definitely go ahead and check that out. It's a wrap for us, though.
Yep.
Putting a bow on this one, man. Holla at y'all. Keep rocking with us. Peace.
Yep.